What is up, guys? Welcome back, and today we're going to be getting back into the RV renovations. We're going to be easing back into things with something light after I was away on my trip in PR, doing some work there. So today we're going to keep things simple and just get the ball rolling again with the RV renovation. And we're going to be installing strip lights. So I'm going to be putting them underneath the counter and along the door frame, and I'll show you guys in a second what I mean. But these are just 12-volt lights, but they have an adapter for being plugged into AC. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet, but it'd be easiest for me to just plug it in at the moment instead of doing soldering. So I'll just start with that, and then we'll see what I end up doing in the future. But I wanted to get them installed. There's really nothing in my way now that would stop me from putting it in. Like, there's no reason I can't install them right now, so we're just gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. We'll see how it looks, and yeah, I'll show you guys a few step-by-steps of how I'm gonna do it, how I'm gonna place it. It's extremely straightforward, but I just wanted to show you guys so you don't feel left out. So if you're thinking about doing it, maybe you'll be able to get a feel for how it will look, and then this could be the determining factor for you. So without further ado, let's get to it. Right on. So my plan is, I have this little gap under my stove, and it leads to where I have some power. So this is the controller box for the remote, and then the strip lights actually connect into this piece. This is the receiver for the remote. So I'm gonna put that, it has a little sticky tab, I'm just gonna put that somewhere behind here, and then the wires can kind of peek out here, whatever. And then I'm gonna have it run underneath the stove like so. Or I might put it on top of this. I'm not quite sure yet. If I put it on top of that, then it will be facing inward instead of outward when it comes this way. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I just don't want it to get too hot, you know, when the stove is on. But I don't know, it shouldn't really get that hot on the outside. But then it's gonna come just a little behind here, or in here if I can get it really snug in there. It's gonna come underneath the cabinet here, around, and then it's gonna come down here, under here, and then it's gonna come up this way, like so, under here, down the other side, and then maybe just right there. Or I'll try and sneak it in there. So that's the general gist of things, of how I want to lay it out. Okay, so I've got things kind of stringed out roughly, and it came with one of these splitters, and I'm using it because when this comes down this way, it's gonna be like this, right? But then for this piece to be upside down, because if I just attached it directly, the non-sticky side would be at the top of the cabinet. So I was able to put it in positive to positive, everything matches up, but then this one and this one are reversed, so I'm able to have this one upside down while this one's right side up. So I'm going to be putting these little clamps, silicone clamps, and they have little screws, and I'll be using the screws on underneath here just so it stays stable, because it's totally upside down. This is more vertical, so I don't think it'll ever have any issue. And I've strung it out, and it gets me to about here rather than over there. So I'm just gonna have the receiver here and then run the cord that way, and should be pretty much perfect. I mean, I had it plugged in and turned on, and we've got off, on, and then you can do brightness. You can dim it quite a lot, turn it all the way up. You can go just pure. This is technically what they call white, even though it looks a lot more blue than white to me. Can do flash, strobe. This is the flash one. Just flashes through the colors. Fade or smooth. They call that smooth, but that's pretty much just the same as flash. So what I'm gonna do to start is just peel this off as I go. Place it exactly where I want it. Right there. And then I'll just work my way up. This is multiple pieces. And then once I get to here, I'll do my best to kind of feed it up. Get it over top of the frame so that it's flat. Or I'll just see if I can put it like that, facing outward. We'll see what I can pull off, really. And then I'll just work my way across, and then I'll get everything secured with those brackets. We'll test it out, and then I'll give you guys a nighttime shot as well once it gets dark. So that'll be in quite a while, but anything for you guys. Alright guys, they are in. I left out a lot of bullshit. Just granted that it turned out to be a little trickier than I anticipated, and mainly due to the fact that, like I had mentioned earlier, you can add these 90-degree bends and stuff, and you just cut it and you add the pins, and then you're supposed to be able to just stick it into the other side, and then it works, right? Well, obviously it didn't. So I had to solder both sides, and the solder kept melting over to the other pins because they're so close together. So it took me a considerable amount of time to make sure that everything worked. I had to test it out a bunch of times. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was nice and short and quick and rewarding. I will give you those nighttime clips in just a second. As always, remember to keep loving your heart, and I will see you next time. Peace, fam. As promised.